Welcome back to the Analog Renaissance, Volume 1, Drawing from Observation. This is Episode 6, where we're going to explore contour drawings with our non-dominant hand. If you remember, in our last video, we did a blind contour and a modified contour of a tomato plant. In this drawing, we learned to slow down and see each element of which we were drawing. Today I'm going to start drawing my right hand with my left hand. My left hand is my non-dominant hand. I ask that if you've been practicing along, that you give yourself some patience and some grace as you get yourself started. The remainder of this video is ran at real time, meaning you will see and hear any struggles that I have as I go through this exercise, and struggles were plenty. You may also hear an occasional chirping bird or tractor as they go up and down my road. I did try to get most of those out, but wasn't successful the entire time editing those out. And in this drawing, focusing on your non-dominant hand allows for you to slow your brain down and be more sensitive to all of the contours that you see.
I don't think I have much control over, I was just out in the garden, over my left hand. So we will see. If I remember correctly, I wanted to do something sort of simple so my hand didn't get tired. So my view's sort of like coming from this angle. So again, you're not seeing what I'm seeing necessarily, but it should still look like a hand. I have bent my arm, so there's a lot of folds in my hand right here. We'll see how my left hand does. This is gonna be silly. Doesn't say if this is a blind or modified. I feel like it should be a blind, so I don't have to look at how terrible it's going to be. All right, focus. So the key is to focus on your eye, I think, more than your hand. I don't really know. More than what your hand is drawing. Not obviously I'm drawing my hand, so I'm focusing my eye on my hand. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but And the book didn't show the outcome of the author's attempt at this. If you remember, they wanted me to do my friend's eye, or even like my eye in the mirror, but I don't, mirrors, sometimes the glare of the lights bother my eyes, so I really didn't want to look in a mirror. Plus, I don't like staring at myself for that long, so. Maybe I'll come back and put this nail in. So my other finger sort of picks up from here. It's more smooth than that. This actually isn't that bad when you concentrate. It's really interesting. I thought I'd have a harder time controlling my left hand than I am. So this is my middle finger. I'm like right here, which then kind of follows to my wrist. Not quite as predominant a knuckle as I drew, but it is a predominant knuckle, at least in the way that it's positioned right now. And my wrist joint. And there's like some lines that come across, kind of lining up with this really deep line on my wrist right here. I don't know if you can see them in the camera, but those are what I just drew. So then this finger, my ring finger, I only see a little bit of. It's way, way, way back. I actually do think looking back and forth on this is more useful because I'm really paying more attention to the direction. It's like, because it's not your dominant hand, thinking is slower, if that makes sense. And there are things that I feel like I'm paying better attention. Like my brain slowed down enough to pick up nuances of things that I don't think I normally would have noticed. All right, and then my pinky. Not quite at that angle, but it dies into there. And there's actually more of my hand, a little bit more of my hand that I see kind of here, which just a little bit. Like this joint is a little bit taller. I think I had it taller and then I was like, oh, it's not that tall, but it is taller. It's more like that. Which looks really extreme, but it actually, I think the way I'm holding my hand makes it more pronounced. There's a little bit of a ridge there, like a little bit of a puffy finger. My fingers are fat anyway, so I have short, stubby fingers. And I am a very active, outdoorsy person, so my nails are never long, very rarely long, very rarely painted, because I beat them up. Okay, I don't know that I'm all that angry with that. It looks pretty okay. I was holding my hand funny, so it does look like it's at a weird angle. I do think this finger was a little too narrow, but all right. So similar shape I'll hold my hand at, trying to replicate the same sort of stacking of my 4 fingers, the thumb kind of resting flat-ish, and get some of the wrinkles in my wrist. That wrist doesn't produce as many wrinkles. Oh, maybe I was holding it a little bit more curved. There we go. That must be it. But these fingers were all sort of touching. So let's go. Wow. Yeah, you are much. All right, refocus. Okay, focus. It's funny, I kind of thought that I would be better this time around with my right hand because of what I just learned from my left hand. But I think maybe you should do more with your left than just one thing if you really want to slow your brain down enough. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Let's see. Maybe it's just more discipline is needed. This is more of a curve than I drew. It's probably not that wide. I'm making a mess. I didn't have to erase on the other one. Again, I think your brain. All right, no eraser. Let's put it away. I'm going to run out of space. You really think I would have learned that by now, to give myself enough space? How many have we done so far? Actually, I should have enough room, because the edge of the finger is sort of like at an angle like this to my thumb. So let me just see here. This comes there, then this comes sort of down, because again, my fingers are kind of puffy, and maybe I've always had fat fingers. I'm noticing I keep like small, sketchy lines, and it's driving me nuts. I'm trying to stop doing that. I'm having a hard time seeing this part of my hand. I think that's why I'm doing it with such lack of confidence. Okay, then I have another finger here. It's actually back here. Okay. So this was my left hand drawn by my right hand on 7/10. I'm not upset about these. I'm a little upset about this one. I feel like the lines on my left hand that I drew with my left hand were a little bit more confident. Like the hand-eye coordination was more confident. I will admit I was distracted during this one. I had someone texting me. So that is probably part of it. But maybe I should try that one again. But overall, I feel like, you know, blind contour, modified contour, non-dominant hand, dominant hand. Let's see, what was the next? A still life. Draw a series of modified contour drawings of the composition. Try not to name or identify the objects you are drawing, as that leads to drawing of symbols, which is what the eye was about. The exercise 1.2, drawing someone's eye, is interesting because we have this preconceived notion of what a graphic eye looks like, and it's not. Like our idea of this like ellipse with points, right? So like we think an eye kind of looks like this with a circle in it. That's not. If you were to draw your eye, again, I don't want to really look in a mirror. I definitely will get a migraine. So even the glare off of this sometimes triggers something. So we will see. I think I like this idea of a modified contour drawing of something like these bottles, maybe. I like the hand with the scissors and the purse too, so we'll see. I think that'll be my next adventure before we go into cross contour drawings. Let me come up with a composition of a still life composition and come back to it.